Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. I am spiritual medium and psychotherapist and author Kellee White. And today is September 26th, 2024. And welcome to Ask Me Anything. How are you, everybody? Has this been a week or what? Let's talk about that, because I am going to talk about the eclipse. It's upcoming, the eclipse on October 2nd. And I want to see how everybody's doing, because this is some energy that we've got going here. Hi, Erica. And it's your first time here. Well, thank you. And you're in Florida in the middle of a hurricane. Okay, I will come back and answer that question for you. I don't know. I do my best, Erica, to answer that. But anybody who's in that hurricane area, please, get to a safe place, and lots of prayers going out, because I was just recently in one and they are scary. And this was a big monster coming. This is a big one. So please, I just really send loving thoughts and prayers to your area. So hi, Sherry Craft. Hi there. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Dee Dee. How's Renee doing? Renee's back, everybody. Our producer Renee is back, and he's at the Alien Convention right now in Colorado, and he's producing that. But he is back, and he's producing my show from the Alien Convention. Somehow that fits. Just love Renee so much. I'm so happy he's back. Hi, Dee Dee. My book is keeping you sane during this wild times. Lots of medical issues lately. Yeah, Dee Dee, we're going to talk about that. And before I even get any further, let me just tell you guys. Last Monday, I was not on the show that James and I do, Life After Death and Beyond, with Donna Eden that day. And I really wanted to be there because I'm a real big fan of hers, followed her for many years. But I was having an endoscopy that afternoon, and if you've ever had an endoscopy and they give you the twilight to knock yourself out, I was in no shape to come back and do a show. I was reeling Pluto myself and had the best sleep ever. So I'm sorry I wasn't there Monday night, but that's why I wasn't there. So, but it turned out everything with my endoscopy was great. That is not the issue that was sending me to the hospital 3 times. It turns out that I more than likely, and I'll know in the next week or so, that it's my gallbladder. And I will tell you this about a gallbladder. I didn't really know that I had one. I mean, I knew I had one, but I didn't really understand the function or how pronounced it can be. And I will say, if you've ever had a gallbladder attack, it will wake you up. It's kind of like a childbirth and having a heart attack at the same time. So anyway, that was my experience 3 times. And so more than likely I'm going to have the little guy removed. But we'll see. Waiting for the result. I have to wait for that too. That's the whole thing. This eclipse, it hits everybody. Tracy, can't wait to read your book this weekend. Oh, I'm so glad that you're going to. Yes, I was very, very fortunate to be close to my mom. And we're going to be talking about any questions you guys have about my book or me. I'm pretty much an open book, and I write about it in my book, Cracked Open. And I thank you for all of your great responses for the book. So appreciate it so much, because I really want it to be used to help people on their own spiritual journey of spiritual awakening. That's why I wrote this book. So hi, MKD. Hi, MTV Media. Hi, Angel and Karen Schumann. Hi, everybody. So hi, Sarah. Hi, Stacy. Loving my book. Thanks, Stacy. I really appreciate that. Benjamin Bryce. Love the book. Thank you, honey. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Cheryl. Since the last eclipse, you've been extremely exhausted. So the first eclipse was September 17th, and the second one is October 2nd. So we're in the middle of this eclipse energy. We call it eclipse season. Then it will last until about probably around October 15th, that energy. And so it's very intense energy. And Cheryl, if you're energy sensitive, it might be, knocking you out, frankly. It serves a purpose, and I'll be talking about that, but it really does make us go inward. Rest is really important. I am actually not going to be working on October 2nd. I'm taking the day off for rest and meditation for that eclipse, because every time I have worked in eclipse, it has knocked me out. And this time I finally got the message, don't work on that day. Oh, okay. So I'm not going to. Um, I'm the boss of me, and I can say I'm not going to work. Hi, Renee. Thank you. You couldn't put my book down. Thank you. I so appreciate it. Oh, LB, thank you, everybody. Hi, Laurel Davis. Thank you so much for your kind words. I really, really appreciate it. Gosh, hi, Carolyn. Hi, Wanda. So, hi, Jeannie. So I could keep going on and on, but I do want to talk about, there's a lot to talk about with the eclipse. And of course, I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. Let me pull up my eclipse information here, because this is a very powerful time. So we have, let's see, we have an eclipse on October 2nd that comes also with a comet. And we're going to talk about that because I have a lot to say about that. This eclipse is a ring of fire, and it's going to be, I'm going to talk about that in a second. But I also, before I even get there, I want to talk about September 29th, because September 29th, we have something really spectacular also energetically. So this is right before the eclipse. So today is September 26th. So September 29th, if your birthday is September 29th, wow. And I'm talking to you, Michelle. If your birthday is September 29th, it's a big deal. In fact, my son-in-law's birthday is September 29th. Also, it happens to be St. Michael's birthday, and I love Archangel Michael. You'll see in my book, I talk a lot about Archangel Michael. I didn't know that any of this existed, but it does. And Archangel Michael works with people that are just beginning a spiritual awakening or just beginning a spiritual path. And it's his birthday on September 29th, and he's the protector, and he's protects police and doctors and soldiers. And he really works with us in a spiritual awakening. So that's September 29th. But additionally, on September 29th, which really makes this time period that we're in just unbelievable, there's a thing called a mini moon. So thank you, Kim Ann, for sending me this. And then I did got a lot of information about this mini moon. It's a small asteroid, but it's going to be captured by Earth's gravitational pull, and they're calling it a mini moon. It is just like the moon that day, it's in the constellation of Leo. So the moon in Leo is the heart. Leo is bravery. Leo is courage. And it's Archangel Michael's birthday that day. I think that's just so fitting. So this is a really important day because it will give us additional energy to go inward, to be brave. It helps us with feelings, with emotions of the heart. I mean, in a deep, profound way. So this is a very important day. So maybe take some time on September 29th just to, have some contemplative time for yourself, just to go inward, because we're going to feel that energy that day. I'll tell you what, a second moon, even though it's a mini moon, it still packs a punch as far as, love and courage and bravery, all of these things in the heart. So really important day. So I did want to say that. So let's get talking about this eclipse on October 2nd. And it's called the Ring of Fire eclipse. And that's because the moon will pass before the sun during this eclipse, and it creates a ring of fire effect in the sky. Now, we're probably not going to see it here, and you'll have to look for the time. I'll be doing a post on the exact time for everybody. I'll do that. It'll come up. I think we're going to post this Monday or Tuesday. So I think it's around 2 p.m. in the afternoon Central Time. I just don't have the exact time right now. But what I found fascinating is that, you know how people go to see an eclipse? I mean, the one in Texas on April 8th. I mean, people flocked to that one. And I so wanted to go to that one, but I did not. But people now, they are flocking to Easter Island. Off of Chile, there's Easter Island. And because they will be able to see this ring of fire on Easter Island. Now, what is Easter Island famous for? It's famous for having the remnants of ancient Lemuria. And, I've taught classes on Lemuria and Atlantis. But if you feel that have ever been drawn to Lemurian energy, which are the original healers on the planet, and they come from all over the galaxies. A lot of Palladians come in, a lot of Arcturians come in, and as Lemurians, they were the ones that seeded Earth pretty much, and that's particularly that area. And that area that is going to be with this eclipse, I find fascinating. And to me, that means, if I really look at it, it means that there will be a lot of healers coming out. So people that have been thinking about healing or know they're a healer but haven't done anything with it yet, I would encourage you to get in touch with that, because we're going to need a lot of healers on the planet and light workers on the planet. And I think that this somehow wakes this up in everybody that has the idea that they're a healer or a light worker. Same difference. Light workers bring healing to the planet. And so this eclipse is really, really important, because it will bring a lifestyle renewal, if you will, and it will bring endings and new beginnings. So some of the things that you can do before the solar eclipse, just like starting right now, maybe, because it's all about, you want to take really good care of yourself, because this is a K2 eclipse in Virgo. K2 is the south node. K2 takes no prisoners. It doesn't care. It just moves obstacles out of the way. It's actually connected with Ganesh. Ganesh is the remover of obstacles that are in our way, and K2 is connected to that. So it doesn't matter. It will be like, oh, gallbladder gone, boom. Next. Oh, okay, this next. Because it's in Virgo makes us look at our health. So one of the things that you might want to start now is reigniting your diet or exercise regime or something like that. Start with some sort of a personal development plan. Make time to listen to your soul. Maybe write down your inspired ideas, because the reason we meditate and the reason we go inward is to have inspiration. Because I know that when you go inward, you're paying a lot more attention to what's going around you and how you're feeling. And at that point, inspiration comes in right away. So this is a very inspirational time as well. And so kind of want to mention that. Oh yeah, the eclipse actually, about 2 p.m. Central Time, about 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern Time, approximately, is when the eclipse starts. And the eclipse represents endings and new beginnings. And I just want to remind everybody, it may not be on that day that all of a sudden things have ended and things have begun. It will actually resonate for about 6 months, but you can already feel the energy coming through. You can already feel it. And this eclipse cycle will change lives. And it absolutely can be for the better. It can be very uplifting changes, very uplifting. It can also bring change that's just necessary. Okay, it's just necessary. And so what's amazing about this is, in this particular eclipse that comes with this comet, and I should say that the comet that it comes with, in Vedic astrology, comets portend some kind of upheaval. And so it's like an omen. It brings things. It can bring a birth of a new idea. It can bring a new baby. It can bring war. It can bring revolution. The comets are really interesting. Now, this comet is just like, it's called the Pons-Brooks Comet. And originally, if you remember this one, we had the Devil Comet on April 8th that came with an eclipse, this is just rare stuff, right? So, I'm sorry, this one is called the Tushinshan Atlas. I don't think I said that right. Tushinshan Atlas. I don't think I'm going to say this one right. But the comet comes in Leo, which is really interesting. It's coming in Leo, in the constellation of Leo, and then it moves into Virgo. So when it hits the eclipse, it will come in Leo. And again, that goes with the heart, the soul, of which Leo is known for, and bravery, which is what it's known for. So with this Virgo, this K2 eclipse in Virgo, it means to purge old emotion and old attachments. So the reason you want to let go of the old attachments is when you do, number one, you're going to feel better and you're going to feel lighter. More light pours in. And eclipses are reset moments. And it makes us step out of our old ways of thinking. And it also helps us to step out of an old timeline. So let's say the old timeline is, I have only done this, but I really want to do this. Oh, okay, well, guess what? Kaboom. Things move and shift because it brings us to where we're supposed to be, the path that we're supposed to be on. You know, in life, we all get off our path. We kind of go here and we go there. And if you read my book, you'll see how many paths I was on. I was all over the place. And then ultimately, I came back to where I was supposed to be. But it's in Virgo. This eclipse is in Virgo. And Virgo is an earth sign. So a few things here. We will see changes on Earth. For instance, we are seeing now major hurricanes and a major one coming down right now. And we'll see Earth changes in Earth, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, things like that. Because Virgo is an earth sign, and eclipses bring these kind of changes. But Virgo also is about health and healing. And that's why I want to go back to the eclipse at Easter Island. And I believe it activates the Lemurian energy of healing, because Virgo is all about healing, and it's also about self-improvement. And it also helps us to organize things better. So some of you might all of a sudden kick into gear like, I want to get organized. I want to do this. And you really want to start focusing on your routines and your work and your health, because you'll have sudden insights into these areas. For me, it was suddenly learning what a gallbladder does. That's right. Old habits are going to be in question. Like, why do I smoke? Why am I drinking so much? It starts to wake you up. Okay, because what it does is it brings you to a healthier approach in life. And I bet you we will see a change in healthcare systems. I bet that's going to happen. Now, the lunar mansion, the constellation that it's in Vedic astrology, we have nakshatras. It's in Hasta. And Hasta means an open hand. And it means to turn ideas into reality. So if you have health ideas or healing things or things that need to get done, it actually creates things that are tangible, and you'll get it done. So that's a positive part of the eclipses, that especially this eclipse, because Virgo just go, go, go. I know, because I am a Virgo. They just go, go, go. This highlights environment. So let's say your environment, you need to change your environment. Eclipses make great changes. It might be in the terms of moving. It may be in the terms of your career or your job. It may be in the terms of health. I know in mine, I'm looking at health, but we're also remodeling our house. So it has a lot to do with big changes. Here's the other thing. You have to take responsibility with this eclipse. This eclipse means you have to take responsibility for your own issues, your own health, your own mental health, your own work, your own relationships. Let's say you've been in a bummer relationship. What do you want to do about it? Do you want to get therapy? Do you want to make changes? Those kind of things. The other thing is, you will be definitely paying attention to unresolved issues. You have to pay attention. So let's say something that you put, I'll deal with that later. Oh, no, you won't. No, you won't. It will bring you right back. And in fact, again, K2 doesn't give a damn. It just goes like, boom. I had my head injury in the year 2000 on August 10th, in the year 2000 with the K2 eclipse. I know that K2 means business. I don't fool around with K2 at all. I know it means business here. So what are we saying? There's a lot to look at. I want everybody to take care of themselves, their health. And if you can, on the day of the eclipse, which is next Wednesday, October 2nd, if you can, make some time just to sit, and if you can, meditate. As I said on my program last week, I was talking about how do you meditate, really. You set an intention. You set the intention of what you want to do, and maybe on that Wednesday, you'll set the intention for letting go of what's no longer serving you, what's no longer helping you anymore, and be really honest with yourself. It's such a good day for honesty for that, and you have to trust the universe has your back. It does, and I've seen it with my own life. I've seen it with I work with so many people, and they share their lives with me. And there's something about listening to your soul and helping you move forward. It will move you forward. So this is a really important time. I can't stress that enough. And on Monday, James and I are going to be doing our show on predictions, and that's going to be Monday. And James is going to be doing. He's going to channel a lot of the information. I'm going to do the astrology part of it, and he'll do the channeling part, and it's going to be great because we're going to be talking about all kinds of things here. So I hope that helps you guys. I think it's important. Janine Coonan says, Kellee, this is the first time I put myself over work, taking a break to heal. I'm really glad that you're doing that, Janine. That's really, really important. I have had to learn that one myself, so I think it's an important one. I do, because it's all about taking care of yourself here. Barb Kennedy said, my husband and I visited the complete eclipses in 2017 and April 8th. Let me tell you, those were big. The 2017 eclipse was huge. It was in August. I think it was around the 27th, or we were here on the farm, and that was a life-changing one for me. I write about that in my book too. And on April 8th, big one. Love the feeling that began on April 8th. Yes, watched the moon eclipse last week. So hope the upcoming eclipse continues the path. Oh, it will. It will continue your path, Barb. And God, good for you. Cheryl Fuchs. Hi, Cheryl. She says, is your book on Audible by chance? Not yet, but it will be before the end of the year. It will be on Audible. So thank you for asking me that. And I also, everybody, and I'm not ready to make this announcement yet, but I have card decks that are coming out too. I just haven't, they're just not finished yet, but they will be. With this eclipse, it's just pushing me to go and pushing me to rest at the same time. So what can I say? Anyway, I've got a lot of questions. And so again, if you have any questions about anything in my book, I'm happy to respond about that. And this is a question I really wanted to answer. And this is from Jan Radzau. I don't think I'm going to say it right. Randazzo. She says, Kellee, do animals reincarnate? And can a dog reincarnate as a cat? So animals, of course they reincarnate. They come back with us. Oh my gosh. I mean, absolutely they do. They absolutely do. Now, and the next question is, can a dog reincarnate as a cat? I don't know why they can't. I mean, a soul is a soul is a soul. So that's a great question. I'm going to say, why not? Why not? The dog mentioned that, I always think animals are so advanced, and I don't see why not. That's my answer. But animals are amazing. And I had an experience with my mother, actually, when she passed. I didn't really see her much, but every once in a while I'd have a dream with her, and usually I was upset. But when I saw her, because when you have a dream after you've lost somebody, of a loved one, it reminds you that they're gone. And for me, it was just a painful, painful, painful time. But one dream happened, and she came back. I couldn't believe it. So my mother was not an animal person. Like, my siblings were all animal freaks of nature, but my mother was not at all. My father was. My mother was not. So in this visit that she came to visit me, she was holding our family dog growing up. His name was Yasha, after Yasha Heifetz, the musician, and we called him Yasha Lofitz, actually. And she came back with Yasha, and she was holding Yasha, and I was like, "You're holding Yasha?" I couldn't believe it. And Yasha leaped out of her arms and gave me a big hug. And Yasha was a person. I know Yasha was the dog, but he was smarter than anybody, and he was some dog. He was something else. But the fact that he came in with my mom, well, the weirdest thing happened the very next day, and I don't even know how it was. I was moving some pictures around, and all of a sudden the picture falls out, and it was our dog Yasha, actually a picture of him, which I hadn't seen in 40 years. So I couldn't believe it. So yeah, they reincarnate and they also can stay and wait for us. So you never have to worry. You will always see your loved one. So thank you for that question, because I love the memory of and you know, I have to answer this question. Somebody asked me, I think Anne Margaret, I think it was you, how my daughter felt about my book, because I put, you know, it's a pretty personal book, and I put, I left a lot out actually. I left a lot out. We cut out 200 pages, but I, my daughter is reading the book, or she hasn't started it yet. I shouldn't say that. She has the book. She hasn't started it yet. And I think it will be, you know, she's aware of, she's really proud of me and really excited to read the book. I think it has to be in her time when she can, you know, do it, because she was living it with me. And, you know, but God bless her. But I will say, my family members are reading it, and a couple of them absolutely loved it. So I was really, really happy about that. Really happy about that. So that was a good thing. So let's see here. Vanessa McCormick, Kellee, I missed your live last week. It was my birthday. Oh, I'm a 5 of clubs. I'm wondering from you. I learned from you. Thank you. I'm wondering if you have a message for me. Well, absolutely. Let's get you a card from the Power of Love. James's card, the Power of Love. Happy birthday. So if your birthday is in between anytime in September and now October, lives are going to change a lot. And if your birthday is in between these eclipses like me, apparently Vanessa like you, our lives change. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's nothing to be scared about at all. It's we're here on Earth to grow and expand constantly. And that's what I get so excited about. I love it when to see people light up. I love it when they get, when I work with their soul and they go, got it. And then all of a sudden the light goes on, or a light bulb goes on. And I love that. I'm so excited about that. Spontaneity. Okay, here you go, Vanessa. You move beyond the constraints of the mind and freely and lovingly embrace new situations. Well, I guess what? It sounds like you're going to have some new experiences, which is always really fun, right? I think that's a wonderful thing. And I want to get a card from my dear friend, Vicky. I know you're watching tonight, honey, from your husband, Mike. I always give you a kiss goodnight. Oh, bless his heart. He's so fun. You know, it's really fun for me when I work with families who have had great loss, their loved ones, when they come through. It's just such an experience because they bring so much love and so much energy. And there's love and there's forgiveness and there's compassion. And it just, it's just an amazing, I love doing the work that I do. I'm just really fortunate that I'm doing it. Pammy Greening says, Kellee, do you see any big power outages due to cyber attacks on a global level? I'm going to say, Pammy, yes, I do believe that will happen. I do. And Pammy, James and I are going to talk about that on Monday, but thank you about that. But yeah, I think we're going to see, let me just say that when we talk on Monday, when James and I do our talk on Monday, a lot of changes are going to be coming up. These eclipses bring changes, and the eclipses are the things we look at to highlight the years, and that's how predictions are made. And so, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of change, you know, coming up. And when we get through October and then November's going to be a big one in the United States. It will be a big one. So here we go. And the other thing I wanted to mention is, if you haven't noticed, and maybe you haven't had this experience, a lot of people with eclipses, a lot of people pass away. A lot of people are born. A lot of babies suddenly come in, or they get pregnant, or something like this. It's a big deal. But there's also like an energetic portal. And I also believe when I keep seeing so many people that are passing now, or so many suddenly they're gone, right? I know that something big is coming. Something is looming here, because it's the same energy, even a little more intense than I felt with the 2020 energy. I felt that in July of 2019. But I can just feel it. So yeah, I think it's, you know, kind of intense, very intense actually. But We're all going to learn a lot. We're all going to learn a lot. That's the important piece to remember. Okay, Carlene Reese. Hi, Carlene. My best friend of almost 30 years deleted and blocked me because of politics. I tried to put a no politics talk in place, but she apparently couldn't do it. Should I just leave it be or try to resolve it? It was very hurt and I didn't see it coming. Carlene, I have heard this so many times. So many times I have heard this. I'm so sorry. And maybe this is one of the things that we'll all be learning about, because it's like two ideologies. I think it was Greg Braden, who was on our show, that said this: two ideologies on earth at the same time. And I think everything has to be about love and compassion, period, in a message. I do. And I think you should send her a lot of love. I mean, she blocked you and deleted you. And that's a shame. I'm sorry, Carlene. I'm very sorry about that. I don't know if you can resolve that right this moment. I would say maybe leave it be for right now. And you are 11/20. Your birthday is November 20th, and that's a King of Hearts. So it would really hit you, because you're right, hit you right in the heart. I mean, that's a big one. And I'm sorry, honey. I'll tell you what, just take some space for right now. That will change. That'll change. Okay. It's really weird when you get blindsided, isn't it? I can't stand to be blindsided. I can't stand that. But it all seems to happen to a lot of us. Julie Akers, Kelly, can I get a card for direction? And you are 621. I will tell you this: if you guys have been stuck or need to know your direction, this eclipse will go like this. Woo, you need a direction? Here you go. Here, you're supposed to be over here now. So trust me, people are going to get unstuck. We have so many planets that are retrograde. Oh, and I didn't even, I will talk about this on Monday, but Jupiter is going to go retrograde on October 9th. Jupiter is the largest planet in the sky, and it is all about spirituality, the guru, blessings, and it's going retrograde. And I think it will also help to put us back exactly where we need to be. Jupiter is expansive. So let's get you a card. And so 621, that makes you a 9 of clubs. So honey, 9 of clubs is all about knowledge. And I mean universal knowledge. So I would be learning every single thing you can. And the other thing about a 9 of clubs, it's about completions. So sometimes things are just completed. It is time to move on. So I hope that will help. Debbie Jones Griffin, I miss my 2 fur grandbabies. They were my heart. Oh, Debbie, I hear you, honey. I've got chills. They're definitely around you. You know, there are some of our animals that are completely our soul mates, our soul everything. I don't know how to explain that, but there are some, and then others that are they're wonderful, that they just not be that one. You know, it's hard to explain, but I know what you mean here, Debbie. You're going to laugh, Debbie. I am surrounded by loving animals. Okay, if that's not a great sign for you. Okay, that was funny. I love them. They have a good sense of humor. I love that. Karen Anderson Vasquez, she says, Kelly, I'm reading your book right now. All I can say is, wow. Thanks, honey. What a journey. You should be so proud of yourself for putting your story out for others to learn. I so appreciate what you said, Karen. And your birthday is September 15th. And September 15th is a healer. It's a 9 of clubs. My dear mentor, Mavis Patilla, was also born on September 15th, 9 of clubs. We used to talk about that all the time. And you're healing. Your journey, Karen, will change a great deal because you're so close to these eclipses. And I would have to say you're a healer. 9 of clubs, again, comes in for universal knowledge, to give. Mavis was one of the most special people that I think, that I've ever known. But truly, when she passed, my heart just kind of stopped for a while. It was really something. But I'm glad. Thank you for saying that. And I always think that Mavis would have loved my book because, I know she and my mom are up there. You know, my book got launched like 8 days or 9 days early. It was not supposed to go out until September 9th. And then it went out on my mom's birthday, August 31st. And I know my mom and Mavis are like this. And I know that they had a lot to do with that. So There you go. Michelle Kavanaugh. My birthday is today. Happy birthday, Michelle, in between these eclipses and the comets and the mini moon. Okay, Michelle. Wow. And thanks for spending your birthday with me. That's so nice of you. September 26th is a Jack of Hearts with the Nine of Spades. So let me just say this. The Nine of Spades is the rising, which means to complete. Michelle, Jack of Hearts on September 26th is all about giving, and sacrificing. So this, you're a very special person. It's a very special person takes that incarnation on. And it means that you will, in this lifetime, you will have done the work that you're here to do, which is to forgive, to love, to help, to sustain others. It's an extraordinary life placement. And you, like me, are in the middle of these eclipses, which will change and lift you up to another place. And that's in the best possible way. Janine says, can I have a card for April 8th? Yes, April. Oh, let me get you a card. Well, April 8th was that eclipse, was April 8th. So the solar eclipse, actually, and that's King of Diamonds, somebody who is very, very, very wise. Here we go, the past. So here's your card, and this is perfect for this eclipse. Through the power of love, you release any stagnant situations or energy in order to transform your heart space. That's what I've been talking about actually tonight, which is with the mini moon in Leo, with the moon in Leo, with the eclipse, with the comet, it will really teach us all to open up our heart space. And if you think, well, my heart doesn't have enough room, oh, please, hearts have tremendous amount of room for everything and everything. I mean, everything. And you also have to remember to let go of anything that has stagnant energy, any old feelings, anything that you're just carrying around. Why carry that old baggage? It's like carrying extra weight that you don't have to. I mean, seriously. Cheryl Anderson says, hi, Kellee. I absolutely love your sunflowers in the background. Thank you. My dear friends, I have two dear friends that gave me these flowers, and I really love them so much. We have big changes coming up for our family due to my mom selling her home of 50 years. Okay, that's huge right there. I have heard so many people tell me this. Linda, I'm talking to you if you're listening. It's a big deal. She will be living with us. Will this be a good idea? I'm really worried about having a full house with my mom and me. February 17th. So you're February 17. So February 17 is an 8 of diamonds, which can handle a lot. And your mom is May 11th. So let's look at May 11th. It's also an 8 of diamonds. Am I being punked? 2 8 of diamonds in the same house? Well, you might have to adjust your roof. But it's a good thing to do. Okay. Oh, Laura, Kellee, do you sense any deceased people or animals around me, or do you have a message for me? Well, let's see. And your birthday is February 3rd. February 3rd is 9 of Spades. Lots interesting tonight. A lot of 9 of Spades and 9 of Clubs. 9 of Spades is all about completion and completion. So you would have had a lot of people around you, Laura. So I've got chills. Yeah, I especially have a mother here. I have no more earthly worries. So I would say this, Laura, take care of yourself, because these eclipses bring peace to people as well. Okay? So I hope that helps you. Andrea Lamar says, Kellee, what are your thoughts on California and the eclipses with earthquakes? I believe we're going to still have earthquakes. Obviously, in California, we're going to have earthquakes, but large earthquakes, Andrea. I really believe that, because, again, when an eclipse is in Virgo, and it's a K2 eclipse, Virgo is Earth, and it's an Earth sign. It means changes in Earth. And Uranus is retrograde, and Uranus is the planet of shock and surprise and movements and earthquakes. So James and I again on Monday will cover a lot more of that, but I would say yes, 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 yes. Okay, Virginia Pregnazer Blacker. Hi, Kellee, I love your book. Thank you, honey. I'm only about to start chapter 5. I really am enjoying the typeset and spacing. Well, thank you. It makes reading very easy. Okay, that's what I wanted. Thank you, Virginia and Michelle. We hit that nail on that one, because that's what I really wanted. And we talked about that. I wanted it because I don't like to read books that are, like reading glasses enough as it is. When you get older, it's like, please, can you make it louder and wider? Also bought the book Channeled Messages. Oh yes, and you read it. So we had people on our show a couple of weeks ago that did Channeled Messages, and it's a really interesting book. And she said, I read the Gandhi section, so great and interesting. I don't even know how she can do such a long time communication. I really don't know either. Some channelers are really quite incredible. She said, my son is 4 something, is with a girl. Oh, I see, 419, and with a girl 530. I'm hoping they don't get married. She stole money from me. Oh, I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry that happened. Well, it's interesting, Virginia. I guess you'll have to start making some boundaries and making boundaries and seeing everything that happens here. Okay, because that's a little complicated one, isn't it? I don't like that either, but I hear you. So, okay, let's see. Diane Rinaldi, I'd love to know if my life is going to the ground or going around. I'd love to know my life is going to the ground or going to the around. I'm not sure, Diane, what you mean, but Diane Rinaldi, but I'm going to give you a card. Take responsibility for your actions. Okay, these guides are really on a kick tonight. I got to say, they are totally on a kick tonight. Okay, so Jen Tran, Kellee, you are an inspiration, and your birthday is July 6th. How are you, honey? You're always so sweet. July 6th, 9 of diamonds. I should remember that one. So you're using God and your guides and signs to help you live a full life. So let's get you a card from your beloved mother, honey. She says, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And I think she's sorry she left you when you were young. And I know she watches over you, Jen. Just remember that. She always watches over you. And I can tell you this, she's very, very, very proud of you. Carolyn Saglia says, Kellee, cheers from South Florida. Oh boy, were you and James spot on regarding lots of water. We in Florida are getting ready for Hurricane Helene. Really, everybody out there. Oh my gosh, so many prayers for you guys and sending energy, positive energy for this so that everybody is safe as they can possibly be. Thank goodness where we live on southeast coast should be a tropical storm, but nevertheless, very bad weather. For those on the West Coast, sending positive thoughts. So there you go. Thank you. And this is from Margie Hall Renzi. She says, Kellee, because of your influence, I recently bought for the first time crystals. She said, I know it's an eclipse, so I'm not sure, do I cleanse them before I start using them to heal? No. With an eclipse, the Vedics we don't believe necessarily that eclipse energy on that day is very good. So we do not put out eclipses on an eclipse. So, and solar eclipses are new moons, and lunar eclipses are full moons, but do not be putting your crystals out. No, not a time. You can wash them now and you can cleanse them before you start to use them. And God, good for you. You have a clear quartz and a hematite. Those are perfect, honey, for you. That's perfect. So what else? I just wanted to make sure everybody has this. Okay, Trish McWeeny, she says, Kellee, I'm setting an alarm for this evening. My question is, my birthday is 11/15. And I'd like to know what card I am. So I did the Destiny cards, and I'll do other shows with Destiny cards in them. But your birthday, 11/15, is a 5 of clubs. 5 of clubs loves their independence. And often, if I ever see a 5 of clubs get married, which I do, they have to pick somebody that also has freedom in their chart, because 5 of clubs has to have a lot of freedom, and they have to speak their truth, and they connect to so many things, and they're very, very psychic. She said, I just moved to my own place after living with a friend from church for 6 years. I can't even explain to myself the journey I've been on except to take care of myself and rest. Now I've smashed into my own place with tons of boxes and things to unpack. Okay, well, there you go. I'm impatient, I bet. But for a year, I looked for affordable housing and applied for 25 properties. My impatience now is trying to find all my things, ironically, but much easier than what I went through. Let me get a card for you, honey, because it sounds like you're a little bit all over the place, but I get that. So let me get a card for you. Be good to yourself, okay? Especially moving. Moving's a big deal. Present. We live in the present moment, and we're able to bring forth the energy of love in our current circumstances. So remember that, okay? Bring in love to your current, in the current moment. If you get a chance, it would be really great for you to sit for a bit. Just sit and positive energy for you. Bring yourself to a really good place of sitting, maybe having a cup of tea, maybe just sitting in your own space would be really, really super good for you to do. Okay. Karen Rager, your birthday is tomorrow, May 27th. Yes, you can have a card. And May 27th tomorrow is 5 of clubs. I think they're on a roll. Peacefulness. That's what I was just saying. For all 5 of clubs out there, peace is the way. Peacefulness. You recognize that balance, kindness, and love brings calmness to your soul. And really, aren't we all wanting just some peace here? I think we are all wanting peace. Here you go. I know, Vicki, you love your husband and you feel him every day. Lori Counts, let me get you a card, sweetheart. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Interesting, Lori, for you. You have nothing to feel guilty about. Is that from a sister, a mother, or a father? Let's think about that, Lori. Nothing to feel guilty about. And I would tell you that too. Okay. Laura Crum. Hi, Laura. She says, beautiful Kellee, can someone's free will give them the greatest or needed soul lesson for their life's journey? What a great question. Can someone's free will give them the greatest or needed soul lesson for their life journey? Oh, you betcha. That's how we have our greatest lessons is, oh, I have free will. I'm going to pick that one. I'm going to go over there. Ooh, what am I going to learn over there? And especially, when we're younger and then middle-aged and whatever, we still are going after different energies. That's how we learn. And then something will usually occur by the second Saturn return, which is 60 to 62, or I should say, I'm sorry, 58, 59, 60. That second Saturn return, Saturn makes life a little more serious. So we might be looking at divorce or a death or something that you're not working anymore. Something changes in a second Saturn return, but it comes with Jupiter, which brings wisdom and blessings. And I mention that because whatever journey that we're on, and you could, in my book, you could see, I just cover all the journeys. I always knew as I was having all these journeys that somehow, and I didn't know how, and I don't even know how I knew this, but something would bring me back to center. I always knew that. So there you go. Evie Freedy, can I have a card for my late sister? Yes, honey, I've got chills around here. If I had only known then what I know now, I would have lived differently. Well, there you go. I hear that a lot on the other side, that when I work with souls, that they'll tell me, if I had known if I should have forgiven this one, why did I carry this with me? What was driving me to hold on to that nonsense? That's what they say there. Now, when you're on earth and we're in a body, we feel everything, we get our whatever, we get angry and we justified and all this. When you get to that side, you go, what was I thinking? Why didn't somebody stop me? Oh, you're supposed to stop yourself? Oh, okay. And that's how that works. Let's say Beatrix Kiddo, she says, Kellee, I have good days and bad days. Is there a message for me? And your date of birth is October 4th. And October 4th is 5 of diamonds. 5 of diamonds, funny, 5 of diamonds is really interesting to me. They're surrounded by angels. 5 of diamonds is very, very important with angels. And also it's about self-worth, honey. So it's about doing, going inward. So Diane Fiend, everyone keeps asking for money for coaching, but I don't know what to do going forward. Any thoughts? I don't know, honey. Do you need coaching? Would a self-help book work for you? Sometimes reading a self-help book actually helps us. So if you don't want to pay for a coach, or are you talking about being a coach? I'm not sure what you mean, Diane, by that. But some coaches are important, and some do really good, So there you go. I hope that helps. So Kim Ann Snodgrass says, Kellee, I think if a friend can't accept you, that you think differently politically, then you have to accept that they were not as good of a friend as you thought. Maybe in time they will realize how short-sighted their behavior is. That's absolutely, Kim. Everybody's going to have this or this or this or this or this or this. Everybody. And I mean, it's an interesting time to live right now. Really, really interesting. And I'm, to quote Rodney King, can we all just get along? And I lived through the LA riots, and it was a really, really rough situation to in that during that period of time. And I remember when he said that, can we all just get along? And I don't know if on earth if it's possible. I'd like to think it is. Okay. So Patty Campbell, I need direction too. I can't wait for the eclipse. And you are 1114. So 1114 is a 6 of clubs and with a 10 of clubs and a queen of clubs, all three. Oh, that means Patty, you just read. Your brain just goes and goes and goes. Such a great brain here. So speaking your truth. And let's get you a card, Patty. Here we go. Friendliness. You are able to recognize traits in common with another in order to forge love-based connections. Don't you think that everybody should have love-based connections? Wherever we're good and kind to one another. I think that would be important. Shakufa Shoots, and you are 414, April 14. April 14 is a 7 of diamonds. 7 of diamonds. All sevens have to work through negativity. All sevens need to work through negativity. But let me get you a card. Here you go. Acceptance. You are ready to release control of situations or people and lovingly embrace the rhythm of life. Boy, is that the truth. I mean, if you can accept people the way they are, that's good. Julie Akers says, Kellee, that helped. Thank you so much, Kellee, for the card for the explanation. I'm holding your book right now and going to be reading it tonight. Thank you. And if you haven't read it yet, or if you, if you purchase it, you get a free guided meditation by me. So, and it's, here we go, Cracked Open. So please, Discovering the Unseen World. If you get a chance, read it. I'm really proud of it. I am so proud of it. Okay. Jan Hennessy, Kellee, thank God change is needed. Going through a lot of hurtful relationship crap and misunderstandings. So birthday is 12/30. You are an Ace of Hearts. So Ace of Hearts, Jan, Ace of Hearts is all about learning about relationships. So if you are hurt in a relationship, learn about who you are and get really strong with who you are, because we learn through relationship. We learn what we are, what we're not. But really go inward, okay? Because that's what I think is going to be really important. And commitment. Dedicate yourself to your beliefs wholeheartedly, knowing that love is the essence of your very being. That's for you. There you go. That's a very, very important one. So Cindy Sue says, Kellee, I would love to get unstuck. Bring on the eclipse. And I would love a card August 17th. Well, people are going to get unstuck. That is for sure. 9 of clubs, again, a 9 of clubs. 9 of clubs comes to complete. Often with a 9 of clubs, or all nines, they have to know when the party's over. And the party is over often, and they'll just try to keep going. And they would get stuck on that point. But let's get you a card. That happens. Harmony. You are able to feel a loving, balanced connection with everything. How lovely is that? I think that is amazing. Diane Dorr, can I have a card from my mother in Germany? Her birthday is March 17th. She's in the hospital since the last eclipse. Oh, Diana, I'm so sorry. Let's get your mother a card. 317. March 17th is a 6 of diamonds, which is all about financial balance, actually, and balance in life. Here we go. Expression. You're ready to manifest your thoughts and transform them into acts of love. Just make sure you're constantly giving her a lot of love. 6 of diamonds often has a fear of being abandoned. So you want to make sure she knows she's loved. It's always very important here. Okay. Suzanne Turnbull, October 9th is your birthday. It will be eventful. October 9th is the day that Jupiter goes retrograde. And it's right after the eclipse, and we're still in the eclipse energy. And it is so powerful, Suzanne. That means amazing things will come back into your life. And Jupiter brings, it's a benefic planet. It brings wisdom. It brings good things. It brings blessings. So that's a good sign, Suzanne, that that's your birthday, which is October 9th. And October 9th is a king of clubs, which is great, because that means you think like a male and very, very intuitive. Then a lot of intuitive things come your way. Let's see. Mary Baker says, Kellee, I've been under the weather for some time now. The doctors are pretty flummoxed. Can you pull a card for me? 5/31, May 31st, Ace of Clubs. Well, Ace of Clubs is all about learning. So I bet you, Mary, and intuition. and always wanting to learn. A lot of doctors are Ace of Clubs. I bet you could do your own investigation of what's going on with you. Often we are our best barometers. I mean, listen, my gallbladder really got my attention 3 times. Like the 3rd time was the charm. It just really woke me up. Drove myself to the hospital. It's the truth. I'm like, I never got to anywhere so fast in my life. And a card for you is compassion. You demonstrate the language of the heart by actively sharing and living love. There you go. Oh my gosh. In spirit, can I have a card for guidance? And you're September 22nd. Happy belated birthday to you. Right between the eclipses. 9/22 is a 2 of clubs. 2 of clubs always comes to overcome fear. All 2s do, and 2 of clubs in particular. And they're all about connection and being friendly and all kinds of things like that. But let me get you a card in spirit. Joy. You delight in the love of life and bring a spirit of fun to all that you do. Oh yeah, 2 of clubs. Some of my best friends are 2 of clubs, actually. Doris Dose, she says, Kellee, I keep seeing 333111 messages come in and said to sit with the golden light. So May 17th, that's a 2 of diamonds. My father's birthday, 2 of diamonds. Very creative. Most people that are born on that day are wildly creative. And and it's a very important time. If you were born between the 13th of May, 13th to about the 19th, there's a conjunction with the Death Star. So it makes it a very powerful time to be born, actually. And if you start seeing 333 or the Ascended Masters, if you start seeing 111, new beginnings, and you start so often before we incarnated, we've kind of programmed into ourselves at this timeline that we're all on. We're on a timeline right now. And we all wanted to be here on this timeline because a lot of things are going to happen on this timeline. And I say that because we programmed ourselves to wake up when we started seeing 111 or 3222 or any of the numbers, 333 or 444 or 555, whatever it happens to be. We programmed that before we incarnated. So when we arrived here, I started seeing these numbers, 25 years ago. Whenever my head injury was, 2000, almost 25 years ago, 24 years ago, I started seeing these numbers. And I remember thinking, what in the world is that? But it really does open you up. Okay, it just does open us up. So Christine says, I love that our God, angels, such a sense of humor, truly a sense of humor. I feel pulled in many directions. And what's the best way to make decisions? Well, let's get you a card, honey. Here we go. Cooperation. In your quest to manifest the energy of love, you realize that every person and experience has value. And I think that is really the message for tonight, because everybody has value. I don't care if you're on this side of the whatever, or this side of whatever, or whatever side, the dark side of the moon or this side of the moon. I don't really care. Everybody has value. They just do. Everybody has value here. And I want people to remember that. And can we all try to get along? I hope so. So we are going to hope that everybody's going to get along. And let's remember something. On Monday, James and I are doing our show, Life After Death and Beyond. I always want to call it the old name. And we're going to be doing predictions. And it's going to be a show you don't want to miss. Charlene, I'm going to get you a card, honey, because I love you so much. Humility. You have developed the loving awareness that you and everyone else are the same, but on different paths. And that's I love this card. James, you really did great with these cards, honey. I have to tell him how great I love these cards so much. But I love that because everybody's on a different path. And just remember, everybody's on a different path, but you can still be loving and kind out there. I guess that's a big message here for everybody. So everybody join James and me on Monday night, and then I look forward to seeing everybody on Thursday. And if you want a session with me, I think I have a few left for October of this month. October, we're coming into October. I think I have a few more left. I have not put out my November calendar yet, but I will. And also, if you go to my website and join the sign up for my newsletter, I have the astrological report coming out before I post it. It'll be coming out in the newsletter. So anyway, take care, my friends. Be good and kind to yourselves and others. All right, take care. I'll see you guys Monday.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything. featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.